Okay, so just going to record a little stuff since our live was a bit of a challenge. But as you may imagine, on this, the day of closing arguments, it is a larger crowd. It's interesting. Everybody still kind of respects this one block that is in front of the courthouse. I, of course, do not. But if you look back this way, that's where the SUV drops off. That's where folks queue up there. They queue up huge across the street. I'm going to walk over here. After I go, I'll take the loop. I'm going to walk on down. Then I will cross the street and go into the fray there. I just think it's interesting. And I'm sure it's because they've, kind of been rousted to some degree. But nobody on the sidewalk here directly in front of the courthouse steps. Media in the normal places that they always gather here along High Street. And then we're crossing over now to the side where the Registry of Deeds is, again, famous for their lovely bathroom. And you got media that queues up on this side as well. This is actually a better perspective, I think. My space, which is over here on the steps, has been totally co-opted and ripped off. I've been booted. But what a surprise that is. Anyway, sitting here. What are you guys waiting for? Something happening today? What's going on? No? Something? Okay. What are we expecting? All right. So, just before the First Amendment zone was reopened, this was. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, this was not possible, because everybody was kept out of here. How you doing? How you doing? How's everybody doing today? Good. Optimistic?
Absolutely.
You're in the pink. I can see that, right? Oh, how you doing? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Let me wander over here. How are you doing?
How's Linda?
Hi, Linda.
Good morning, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
So, I don't know. Just give me your thoughts, gut feeling.
I'm hoping today is the verdict, and I think it's just definitely not guilty.
Monday, definitely. Not today.
But who knows what Bev will pull today? So
And it's a jury. I know what everybody thinks and wants, but it's a jury.
I hope it's not a mistrial, Mike. I really do. I hope it's not. I mean, I think it's hard to prove that. Like they said, the experts saying that the car didn't hit John and John didn't hit the car. So let's just hope and pray.
So, if you could remove yourself from what we all know from the first trial
Yeah.
and from the things that have been left out of this trial, what will you be focusing on as a juror?
I would be focusing on the experts by saying that the car didn't hit him. That's what I would go on. I mean, that's just my opinion because, I mean, you have all these experts, even the Dr. Lopasada, all of them saying that. I mean, you can't even, I think the jury probably already forgot about the 227 call because the last four,
I kind of forgot about it there.
yeah, because the last four witnesses are all about being hit by the vehicle and it wasn't. So that's what I would focus on.
What's your take on the last-minute change, no rebuttal case?
I think Hank realizes that he can't have Dr. Welcher with his blue paint come up against them. It's, nah.
I was kind of hoping for it myself,
Me too.
personal, selfish reasons.
Yeah, me too.
One thing that made an impression on me, let me get your take on this, is when you have an expert like Dr. Rentschler say, well, I'm salaried. I'm not making an hourly rate on this. That you don't hear that in trials.
Right. Well, because Hank wants to say that the defense paid him and stuff because they paid him $23,000 but if you look at Dr. Welch's $400,000 to put blue paint on his arm, Jesus, I might as well get that job. I'm in the wrong career.
Yeah, as that was unfolding, I was thinking I could do that.
Me too. Absolutely. Stick my arm out for $400,000. Yeah, absolutely. I could do that. We're both in the wrong business, Mike.
Exactly. Well, good luck today. I'll be circulating, and I appreciate your perspective.
Absolutely, Mike. Anytime.
Okay, let's wander on back down here as we. Some of the faces obviously very familiar. How you doing? Some brand new, at least to me. How are you? Good. Hello. Well, there he is. Are you? You look happy today. I don't know. I can't understand it.
Today's a great day.
I had to pause for the selfie. Can I get a second?
Yeah, sure. You don't mind anything.
Hey, appreciate
know?
that. So, congratulations. I sent you a little note, but I'm sure you were totally.
Yeah, I've been
inundated.
bombarded. Yeah.
Yeah. So, give us a little. How did it play out yesterday? Just kind of a sense of, obviously the conclusion. We know.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything surprising to you? Any of the witnesses stand out? Anything that?
I mean, every witness helped me. Even they called they called two dead cops, both of whom backed up my story that I tried to get away from the building. I thought I was 100 yards away. I was actually right up here in the grassy knoll. All right, and that's where the cop told me to go. So I went there, and it's not a crime to do that. And I shouldn't have had to leave in the first place. Paul O'Keefe testified yesterday. He kind of confirmed that the whole thing was indeed a setup. So I think he helped me. So the judge saw through the bullshit.
As you're sitting there and this thing's unfolding for you, are you? You had to be just amazed that you were at that point in the process that somebody was on trial for this.
On trial. I mean, that's the craziest part, that the government dedicated all these resources, and that triple dip Cosgrove was running up the bill on the taxpayers.
Special prosecutor.
Special prosecutor, we call him triple dip, because he's collecting two pensions of over $200,000, and he's getting paid by the hour to do this nonsense. He knew this was bullshit, and he just did it anyway. He knew they weren't going to convict me, but he's just getting paid off the taxpayers, and this is what you're paying for. Instead of having your roads fixed, having your schools funded, you're paying for this garbage.
I saw you yesterday as you were leaving court. Obviously, you hope that what happened with you is a sign of what might happen today, or at least ultimately in the Karen Reed case. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an omen. I mean, it's just weird. It happened the day before closing arguments, that I'm acquitted. It just seems like it's all coming together. The way that this trial ended with Hank basically throwing in the towel and not calling his rebuttal to the rebuttal witnesses because they would be a disaster. Having Lally get up there and speak yesterday, the whole thing just reeked of giving up. And I think all the momentum is with the defense. I think Alan Jackson's going to do an amazing job today. I did have a chance to text with Karen Reed this morning, and she said that. I'll read it to you. I'll just read what she said. She said about the closing statement. She said that Allen's close will be 10 times better than last year. We listened very intently to what people thought should be fixed. So, they pay attention to this stuff. And, like I said, I think last year's closing was good. It was artistic. But ultimately, what they just need to hammer home this year is what reasonable doubt is. I hope they watch those Jose Baez closings with Casey Anthony and Aaron Hernandez, who were both acquitted, in both with far less evidence, exculpatory evidence than Karen Reed has. So they just need to hammer home what reasonable doubt is. Let this jury know that you can't convict somebody based on, maybe this happened based on blue paint. You can't convict people on blue paint. It's not enough to take someone's freedom away. That doesn't prove a car crash happened. You don't have to prove who did it. You don't have to prove, who beat him up and put him where, what time. You don't have to do any of that. You just have to prove a car crash didn't happen, that his body wasn't out there for 5.5 hours, which they've done, end of story. So that's it.
Today, is it going to happen today, you think?
If the jury's smart, it'll happen today. If the jury's smart, they'll go to deliberate. They'll get in that room for the first time and talk about it, and they'll just be like, so this is all, they'll look at each other and they'll say, well, this is all bullshit, right? And this is clearly we all agree she's innocent, right? And then they'll laugh and they'll have a chuckle and they'll say, yeah, that's it, and let's pretend to do something for an hour. Let's pretend like we're actually deliberating so we don't come back in 50 seconds. And then they'll come back and they'll say not guilty. That's what a just jury would do. And we'll see what happens.
I've seen tons of Friday verdicts, been involved in Friday verdicts, and they are a thing. They're a real thing. Your take on the judge deciding to extend deliberations if necessary. I mean, she's pushing for a Friday verdict, it looks like to me, but I'm not sure what she wants.
She's trying to open up the Cape House. She wants to get out of here for the weekend. She wants to be done with this, and I don't blame her. It's like the one time I agree with her. They should be done by today. They should deliberate, get it out of there. There was 0%. If there is a verdict today, it will be not guilty. Like, let's just put it that way. If there is a verdict today, it will be not guilty. If they deliberate longer into next week, that means there's maybe a couple holdovers that just have to be won over. But this is a jury that I saw them. They took way more notes than the last jury. There was just a lot less to confuse them with. The last jury had, okay, so this person said this person said, oh, he never came in the house. There's a whole list of McAlberts to go through, and you had to come to the conclusion all these people are lying, right? You don't have to do that now. You don't have to do, Jen McCabe's a liar. She manipulated Carrie Roberts, right? And Michael Proctor's a scumbag who they won't even call and put on the stand, and he was in charge of the whole investigation. That's it. So I think it's a lot. And the science and the data, 4 doctors testified. Russell, LaPosada, Wolf, and Rentschler, and Scorty Bello. All of them testified, 5 doctors actually, 4 of them for the defense testified that John's injuries don't align with the car collision, right? Several of them testified that he's covered in dog bites. The Commonwealth did nothing to combat that. And all they have is some phony baloney text stream data, which Matthew DeSogra also helped debunk, that shows that she went in reverse at some time. Doesn't say she hit anything. And that's about it.
All right, sir. Well, again, congratulations. Are you going to be hanging out here today? What's the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan. I didn't get in the courtroom today because a bunch of...
You were randomized out or what?
Well, yeah, but I've been able to get in all week because... the AP, the Boston Globe, News Nation, Law and Crime, and Grant haven't shown up. So that's 5 extra spots. And then I've taken the alternates, Jess and ABC have taken the 2 alternate spots, and then you get extra standbys. Well, today, for the first time, News Nation, the Associated Press, and the Boston Globe decided to finally take an interest in this story and show up and take, where have they been? How's that just?
Classic.
They've been ignoring this the whole time. It's been happening in their backyard, and they get to be in there. It's complete bullshit, but it is what it is.
And it's consistent.
It is consistent. I got in for next week, but hopefully there is. I don't want there to be in next week, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, man. Take
Thank
care.
you. I appreciate it, brother.
Congrats again.
Thank you.
Take your picture.
Oh, sure. Here.
Well, she wants to get a picture of
Okay, hold on.
This is a celebrity. No.
You got that right. Here, let's see if I can do this.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Take care. Something went down there. Oh. All right. Obviously, Aiden could not be more happy about the result from yesterday. And he hopes it spills over into today, or at least to the ultimate decision this jury is going to have to make in the Karen Reed case. So, it's pretty tight scheduled. This jury should have the case by 1-ish, give or take. Sometimes jurors delay making a formal decision because they want a free lunch, but I think they're going to get their lunch before they even get started today. So this is the original line with the buffer zone. So let's see if there's anybody here who's interested in chatting. How you doing? How's everybody feel?
So
Awesome.
good.
Awesome.
Did you have that pink chair before, or did you buy that?
I did buy it just for the trial. No, I'm just kidding. I did have it.
You did have it? All right. Okay, enjoy the day. Hey, how are you? How's it going?
Good, good.
You sure I was just talking to Aiden?
Yes, so excited. It was so awesome.
Did you go?
I went to it for a little while, then I had to leave for the second half to go get the kids, but it was amazing.
Damn those kids.
The judge was awesome.
In the way.
Yeah, I know. God, don't they know what's happening here? These schools making half days and stuff, they should know better.
So Aiden's hoping that's kind of a good sign.
Yeah, I think it's going to come back not guilty today, too. It's going to be a great week for the people. You know what I mean? Factually framed, and today's the day. I feel the justice. I feel it. It's coming. Justice will be served.
Hey, there you
Yep,
go.
yep.
I've heard of that somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
How you doing? How's everybody doing? It's very busy here.
Go
A lot of folks
ahead.
showed up today. How are you?
A lot of people that have never showed before are showing today.
Well, better late than never, I say, right? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Tim? Tim is always lurking. What's going on, Tim? What's the deal?
I'm just taking in.
You got bounced out? You didn't get in on the
No,
random?
we're in the alternate list.
The
So
alternate
yeah,
list.
so we're waiting to see. So I was just out here, kind of seeing what people are saying and what it feels like.
What's your sense of the vibe? Obviously, this is the hot zone. It has been. It's just a lot busier today.
Yeah, just simply that. It's a lot of excitement. and people are ready.
Not guilty today. That's my bet.
That's your prediction?
Not guilty today.
And if there is no decision today, what do you take from that?
Overtime.
But is it a good overtime or is it a bad overtime?
Even if it's not guilty today, this isn't going to end.
Yeah, I realize there's more things stacked up here in the community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
I'm looking at my roof and I missed.
Can't find the TikTok right now.
There's the man.
TikTok link because it's not opening
going on,
for some
bud?
reason on my computer.
Turn this down for a second.
Oh yeah. Obviously they haven't started yet. I love. Judge Bev is like, let's get here early. Maybe we'll start before 9 o'clock. Yeah, right. Of course
She's
we will.
busy denying defense motions.
There are a couple of last-minute motions they brought. What were they? I wasn't able to hear. What are they?
I find funny. So in trial one, when her judge's clerk Jim picks the alternate juror numbers out of the 100-year-old tumbler, he doesn't exactly have it open and honest. You don't know what the numbers.
It's kind of a hide the ball, literally. Thing.
So the defense literally filed a motion saying, "Hey, we want a much more clear and distinct. Show us the numbers, and so we can't,
no fudging.
play around with it."
Are you surprised?
She immediately denied that motion, by the way.
Oh, of course.
How dare we disparage her judge's clerk, Jim, in that manner?
Poor Jim. Okay, so what's your take on not losing one alternate during the course of this second trial?
That's a good sign because, as we know in trial one, if you followed it, there was several jurors that were tossed before the alternates were picked. So we have all 18 intact the entire trial.
Is this the people who want to be on this jury, maybe for the right or the wrong reason?
We all hope that it's a well-picked jury where there's nobody biased either way. But in trial one, there was a couple jurors that were allegedly pointed out to be Free Karen Reed, and those are the very jurors that Beverly Cannoni removed from the jury.
And of course, we know after the fact, all three of them were likely not guilty voters.
Aiden Carney, Turtleboy, is in the courtroom now.
No, I just talked to him on the street. He didn't get in.
He didn't get in?
Yeah, you know how that.
I thought he was going to get in.
So did he. This is the first time he hasn't.
He has several jurors that he believes are very pro Karen Reed, and he's saying if their numbers are called to be alternates, then the fix is in on Jim's tumbler. So we'll see.
All righty. Thanks, man.
Nice seeing you.
You too. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Excited? Optimistic? Nervous? What?
Absolutely. I don't want to be on TV.
Oh, sorry. Are you in the witness protection program?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
I love watching you and Linda.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Oh, sorry. Ran into the. Yeah, well, I'm not good enough to get in the courtroom, so,
You're good enough to see him with us.
Thank you.